Hey everyone, and welcome to another NintendoFuse Game Chat. My name is Steve, and I'm here with Barry and Greg, and we're going to be talking about Lawnmower Simulator on Nintendo Switch. So, Lawnmower Simulator is essentially what it sounds like. It is a physically authentic lawn mowing experience, the best you can get without actually getting out in the grass. So, for all you gamers out there who have been told to touch grass for a long time, you can touch digital grass on this game. So, you're not only mowing lawns, but you're running a lawn mowing business. And you start out at the very beginning and you get your first mower and you get your first job and you are the only one, but eventually you'll be able to build this entire business and go out and mow a bunch of lawns. And I'm guessing this game would be really, really good for people who really enjoy mowing lawns and they want to do it digitally, or people who really like to complete things, because you must mow at least 99% of the grass there and be very precise as you're going. And that's basically the game. So if you want to simulate mowing lawns and owning a lawn mowing business, this is the game for you. Greg, has this been the game you've always wanted?
Unfortunately not. As someone that had to cut their parents' lawn growing up, it was definitely not my favorite thing to do while maintaining that household. And so even going to the digitally version now, like I can actually do it on the game, I don't really get any enjoyment out of virtually cutting lawns to perfection. So yeah, the tutorial level at least is a little bit different than the other missions where you only have to cut like a smaller percentage of it, only like I think it's like 70% or something, but it then like as you said, like you just go into like having to cut 99 like precisely, and that gets very tricky, and it's a lot more. It sounds easier than it actually is, and so you have to like know how to like lower the blades, and then you have to like raise the blades back up, and to can't like it's not as easy to like recut certain sections you've already like previously cut, and um definitely met with a lot of like frustrations that doesn't feel necessary for a game, but obviously it gives you that more realistic experience if you actually were looking to actually start your own lawn mowing business, I would presume. But yeah, I think the realism was a little bit too much for me, and I almost more prefer to use other methods like in other games like a sword or something that like Link would use. But um, then
That
again,
should
it
really
wouldn't be
be it.
nearly as yeah, it obviously wouldn't nearly be as precise as the people are asking you to be to at a certain length and everything too.
Yeah, you can't go around breaking people's pots in this one either. You get fined for that. Uh, Barry, I know we've enjoyed both the flight simulator before.
Yes.
Did you enjoy lawn mowing simulator as much as flight simulator?
Unlike Greg, I mean, I used to mow the lawn, but as I got older, I developed allergies, and I can no longer do that in real life
Hmm.
because I enjoy living and breathing. So I was like, oh, digital version, this is cool. I can, do this. And Greg talked about the realism. Well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to complain about the realism because I'm going to say it's not realistic enough. So I started my company in the career. I'm like, here I am. I'm getting on my mower. I chose the most expensive mower you could buy initially because I don't care. My company can go into debt, whatever. So I'm gonna get off in the first house, and I wanted to see how realistic this was. So I lowered that plane down, and I cut into the lawn, and it was like yelling at me, "This is the wrong level." I said, "I don't care." So I started doing donuts. I started destroying the ground. I went over every flower I could. I destroyed everything. And you know what happened? No one came out of the house to yell at me. I'm sorry. If someone was mowing the lawn and destroyed it, I would get out there and be like, "Yo, what are you doing?" But
Right.
no one. So here I am destroying the entire property as much as I could. Fine, fine, fine. I don't care. I'm waiting for this person to come out with a baseball bat and go me on just club me. No, it doesn't happen. So now I've destroyed everything and I've only done like 20% of the lawn. And then now I've got to gruelingly do 99 to see what happens.
Yeah.
So I'm bored going through this thing.
Did
That's
you
the
keep
wrong
it at the
length.
lowest level the whole time?
Oh, yes, the whole time.
Kicking
They
up
don't
dirt?
have a loan. Oh, yes, they don't have a loan anymore. So I'm expecting them to come out, and so I finish, and it's like, minus $400. But wait, I'm sorry, I did the math, and the bastards, they paid you. So I'm like, wait, how is it minus $400? I did like $600 in fines, but I charged them 200 something dollars, and they paid no realism. The same
That's hilarious. Wow. Yeah. So I'm glad you went that direction because I decided I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And it says go clean up the yard beforehand. When I was growing up, the cleaning up the yard ahead of time was the worst part. And so it forces you to go pick up things out of the yard. Pick them out of your own yard before you hire me to come mow your lawn. And then
Well, I
doing
just
it
mowed over
precise.
that stuff.
Thing. That's hilarious. But seriously, and it throws out a fine. Like if you start on the by the sidewalk, and I decide that you can mow lawns in lots of different ways. I decided to do the whole perimeter thing and move your way inside and just drive along the track that you're creating, and you throw some grass on the pavement, and it immediately says, "Hey, that's a fine." I'm like, I'm going to come back and pick that up. I'm not going to get off the mower when I just stepped on the mower and get off and clean that up and then get back on the mower again. I'll come and clean that up afterwards. But it's like throwing out fines here and there. Yeah, you clip a flower and I think it's like $100 fine. Like that flower was not worth $100. It's so monotonous. I don't like mowing grass. I have a friend that loves mowing grass, shoveling snow, doing all these things that I don't understand. I give him a hard time all the time. I don't know why you like this sort of thing. I mean, I maybe see if he likes the game, but coming from someone that doesn't really like mowing grass anyway, to have to do that digitally and be so precise. And here's the problem. This is not a knock against the game. This is a knock against the Nintendo Switch. It is not made for precise controls. We've talked about this on other games. The analog or there's no analog triggers on this, so your gas is all throttle or nothing at all.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't just barely do it unless you decide to use the left analog stick, which is also your steering, but you can also move it forward just a little bit and give yourself some throttle and do that a little bit. But they're keeping that thing exactly where it needs to be the whole time. And as you're going up and down through a lawn and gaining speed as you're going downhill and climbing, you lose speed and all those different things. My thumb was getting tired and I was done with it. And so I just held down ZR and I was like, I don't care if I blow the engine of this mower.
It's not
It
like it
doesn't
blows.
matter.
It
Yeah.
doesn't blow.
It doesn't matter. It just finds me at the end, and I have to pay a little bit more, out of my pocket to get it fixed or something. And it's dumb. Yeah.
The whole thing is
The
dumb.
and so I finally I mowed 99% with my lawnmower, and I went back just to try the weed eater because you also get a weed eater to do the fine moments, fine grass and in the corners and all that other stuff, and it was okay. But it just and above everything else, we've talked about this on previous games and stuff like that. Barry, I know you and I kind of share this thing about motion sickness. Oh, I was halfway through the yard and I was about to throw up. I was just like, this is not fun. And it's largely in part because of the
Yep.
analog stick. If you're controlling the speed, you're also controlling steering, and that camera is swinging around
Yes, it is.
and it is not an enjoyable experience. So I'm like, you've got other ways to do this, and it just there's some limitations from the Switch. I get that, but there are ways to overcome that, and they did not.
See, I didn't even try the weed eater and all that, because I was sure that there was somebody with a shotgun in that house pointed at me, and I wanted to get in my truck and get the hell out of there. But I will tell you, if you screw up really badly, you have to take a loan instantly, so you go even more into debt. But yeah, you know what? After realizing they still paid me my 200 and something dollars to destroy and mutilate their lawn, maybe they weren't going to hurt me, so I could have probably done some more damage with a weed eater. But see, you used the lawnmower that tossed the grass. I just chose the more expensive one, which
Mm,
mulched it. So I completely destroyed and mulched their entire
nice.
lawn into nothing.
Nice. Yeah, I decided to go for speed on the mower, which then it still took forever. I was mowing that thing for like an
Yes.
hour. It was
Yeah, it takes
ridiculous.
forever.
Yeah. And
Just like in
there's
real
other
life.
games. There's other games that I'd be rather playing instead in that time.
Yeah, see, that's why I wanted the realism. Like, people play Grand Theft Auto, and people will pull you out of the car and they'll attack you and stuff like that. Make it more realistic. You just run over somebody, the cops are gonna come. Man, nothing. I really wanted to see them come out of the house with a bat and like just start chasing me. And you have to mow the lawn while dodging their swings. Like, come on, make it more fun and make it a game, not a chore. This is a chore.
Yeah.
Didn't like Paperboy have somebody coming out of their house with like a knife or something? Like they could just like chase you down. That could have been more of a inclination to do the lawn and not damage
I
it.
mean
But yeah,
I mean, that's realistic. Who if you're home, you know, if someone is mowing your lawn and destroying it utterly, you're gonna go out there and say something, and B, and if you're not home and you find out, you're probably gonna take them to court. You're certainly not gonna pay their bill.
That's true. That is very true. So it is important to say that there are 2 DLC packs that are going to be. I think they're coming out with the game itself. I'm not sure exactly on that, but I think they're like $5 a piece. And one is Dino Safari, and so you can mow the grass, I guess, in a Dino Safari thing. So I, I'm guessing as much as you would like it, Barry, I bet dinosaurs do not chase you as you're mowing the
You know
grass.
what?
But
They
that would be
should
fun.
though.
They really
Yeah.
should. They really should. And the other one's like Ancient Britain or something like that. Which definitely this game, I don't know the history behind it, but it is very much British inspired. Like even they use pounds throughout the whole thing rather than US dollars.
Yeah.
But there's some things you can change to imperial versus metric, but the money stays the same, so it's always in pounds. So, but yeah, you can also go to ancient Britain and mow around the Stonehenge or something like that too. So, I guess for some people this is probably fun, but I don't know. This doesn't really seem like it's for us. Greg, who could this game be for?
I mean, honestly, it's probably those that really have a strong passion for mowing grass and would want to like maybe have like a digital version representation. Because I mean, that's kind of how you do it. Like with sports games, you like baseball, you play baseball games. You like racing, you like racing games. So that's where I see where the passion kind of fits in. And that's where I think those games are more intended for those types of people. But I mean, if you have like an interest in seeing like how if you want to start your own lawn business, then maybe this can help give you a few potential pointers on what to do and what not to do. And even though some of the prices and fines are not entirely realistic, but um, it could help lead to starting your own business, I guess. I mean, I already know lawn's care is not in my future and not part of things I enjoy, but I'm not going to completely destroy something if that's somebody else's passion either. So, I mean, if you that's where I could say if you're not a fan of doing lawns, this game is not going to be for you. But maybe if you do like that stuff, then maybe this could be your game of the year easily.
Or if
So,
you just want to destroy people's yards instead of their passion of growing mowing grass, you just want to destroy people's yards. It only cost you $400 or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, the game is on Nintendo Switch eShop. The digital edition is $19.99 on regular price, and then there's also the Landmark edition that I believe comes with the DLC as well, and that's for $24.99. Between $20 and $25 for the Landmark edition. What do you guys think? Would you recommend this game? What do you think, Barry?
I would recommend this game only if you were a college student and you went to drinking parties and you decided to see who can destroy the lawns the most, and you get somebody designated to be the owner and role play the owner of the house and berate you while you're trying to actively destroy the lawn. Then I can see this being a ton of fun. But outside of that, again, like Greg said, if this is your passion, if you absolutely want to go into this and this is what you love, then yes, 100% worth it. If you don't fall into that, then stay clear, stay clear. Like unless you just want to have a hilarious moment, stay clear.
Yeah.
But that person's not going to come at you with that baseball bat like you wish they would, man. I tell you, you were just mowing that 99% of that lawn, bored out of your mind.
Greg, what do you think?
Essentially, just echo that. Yeah. So if you're into lawn mowing or even like an entrepreneurial business or whatever in lawn mowing, then this could be the perfect game for you. But otherwise, it's most likely just an easy hard pass. Doesn't matter how much it's really discounted at that point, unless as Barry said, you want a good laugh. Maybe it could provide a hour or two of entertainment, but you're probably not going to get quite your money's worth at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I'm right with you guys. I mean, like if this really sounds exciting, I think maybe you're going to enjoy this, but don't pick it up just because you want to destroy people's yards, because here's the thing, like at least in the campaign mode, like you still have to mow 99% of the yard
Yeah.
even after you destroyed it. And there's other simulating games that are just fun to just goof around. And
See,
this isn't really one of them.
and that 99% thing is what bothered me is I wanted to get up and leave and just be like, that's part of the thing. I destroy your yard. I don't even
Yeah.
I mowed like figure eights and then I get up and leave and now you have a half mowed yard. I thought that would be funny, but they wouldn't let me do that. My
Yeah.
punishment was I had to mow 99% of it, which was boring. And like it was fun for the first 5 minutes or so while I destroyed things, and then for the next 15 minutes I was bored.
Right. Right. And I think for me, like, I don't I don't mind like push mowing, not a big fan of weed eating, all that stuff, and I'm not a big fan of. A riding mower is okay. But you know what I like to do when I'm doing a riding mower? I'll throw in my earbuds or listen to a podcast, listen to some music while I'm doing it and everything, and or maybe even if it's a big yard, I can just keep it straight. I'll play a video game on my phone or something like that while I'm doing it. I haven't mowed a yard in a long time. I don't even know if that's possible, but in this, like I have to focus so much on this mowing, and it was just not a fun experience at all. Even if you can run over everything and destroy it in the end, it's not a fun experience. So yeah, can't recommend this game unless you really, really, really enjoy mowing lawns. And if that's the case, please do us a favor and let us know down in the comments. You're like, hey, I love mowing lawns. I run my own lawn mowing business. And this is actually, let us know your experience with this game. We would love to know because none of us are in that that boat at all. We have no idea what that's like, and that would not be us. But if that's you, please let us know because that's another perspective we don't have. So yeah, let us know down in the comments. But for everybody else, be sure to subscribe to us here on NintendoFuse on YouTube, and also check out NintendoFuse.com as well. And yeah, thanks again to the developers and the publishers, PR agencies, and everything that allowed us to get some early copies of Lawn Mowing Simulator for Nintendo Switch. And check it out early and enough to talk about it with you guys and have some fun, destroying people's lawns for at least a few minutes. But thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.